Dallas police officer Amber Geiger, you've been following this story over the last couple weeks.
Yeah.
Fired over Botham Jean shooting. Dallas officer Amber Geiger engaged in adverse conduct when she was arrested for manslaughter for fatally shooting Jean at his South Side Flats apartment in Dallas, police said. Amber Geiger, the Dallas police officer who faces manslaughter charge in the shooting death of Botham Jean, has been fired, the police department announced in a news release Monday. Chief Renee Hall fired Geiger, 30, after a very short internal affairs investigation and hearing Monday morning, sources told WFAA. The only thing she was questioned about, according to sources, was whether or not she had been arrested for manslaughter.
So do you agree with this, TJ? You think this woman should be fired?
I think that's the very least of what
that's
the
step
consequences
one.
should be.
Step two, tried for murder. Step three, convicted of
Paul,
murder.
what happened to due process, Paul? What happened?
That's why I said
Until
step
innocent,
one.
so you should be fired when no crime has been proven, Paul.
She's clear,
no crime has been
clearly
proven, Paul.
in dereliction of duty. So
Paul,
fired.
no crime has been proven, Paul. What if she's found innocent, Paul? Should she be reinstated then?
No, because she still did something
Paul
reckless with a gun as a police officer.
TJ.
So.
Paul does not care.
Even if they find she was simply negligent and not
so if Paul's
criminally
accused,
negligent,
TJ, of
she
a
still lose her
crime,
job.
if you're accused of a crime, Paul, you should be fired. You should be punished, Paul. Even if you've not been convicted of that crime. Where's the justice in that, Paul?
Nowhere. Who said there was justice in this fucking blighted, woe-begotten place?
Well, that's what the justice system exists for, Paul. That's why it exists,
The
Paul.
justice system.
The justice system, Paul.
There's a reason why the statue that represents our justice system has got a fucking blindfold on, and it's not because she's blind to fucking bias. It's because she's about to be shot in the fucking head in the building behind her.
The internal affairs investigation Monday was separate from an ongoing criminal investigation into the shooting. Geiger's arrest on September 9th alone is reason enough for the internal affairs to decide she should be fired. The firing is a reversal in course for Hall, who last week said federal and state laws were preventing her from firing Geiger. Hall also said that an internal investigation could potentially compromise the criminal investigation. So basically, the police had every intention of protecting this bitch and making sure no harm came to her, but the press got a little bit too hot on it, and they're just like, fuck this. She ain't our problem no more. She's fired. And that's
I don't blame them.
That's pretty much what happened.
You want a beat cop out there with a pistol that gets lost and goes to the wrong, even if her story is true.
Yeah. Assuming that her story is 100% accurate, that's not a good cop.
Yeah, she's a person that literally gets lost and accidentally shoots a man in his own home. So, cop or no, that doesn't sound like somebody I'd want out there on the beat.
I think you guys have made a point that I've heard no one else say. It's like, look, even if this is, let's assume let's just say her story is true and everything she's saying is accurate and it was just a terrible accident. If she's that fucking out of her fucking mind where she can go to another apartment, another floor up, break in, have a dispute, and then kill somebody. I mean, because her story doesn't add up.
I mean, the story is not even about a dispute. It's just like she says she went into the apartment, thought it was hers, saw him, thought he was an intruder, and shot him.
Well, if you believe her story, I mean, the reality is that she killed this person.
I don't believe her story, but even if her story was true, even if it was just a 1 in a million crazy fucking accident that happened,
she's incompetent.
It demonstrates that she does not have the competency to be trusted to be a police officer and policing the community and trusted with a firearm.
What's the first thing a police officer is supposed to do if they arrive and they suspect a crime? They investigate. So she should have investigated. Is this my apartment? Who is in this apartment? What's going on?
Yeah, she didn't ask. Assuming her story is true, which once again is a giant leap. None of it makes sense. And
look, she needs an excuse to use deadly force and being in your home and having.
She clearly didn't ascertain what was actually going on, and it's bullshit.
But think about this: if she killed someone, what's a better cover story than that? To say, look, someone was in my house, I was scared, and I killed them. Because if she admits I wasn't in the right house when I killed them, her story just falls apart. So she has to stick to this ridiculous story as the only chance having a legal defense for her basically murdering somebody.